Hi everyone, my name is Dayna Altman and I'm the creator of Bake It Till You Make It. Bake It Till You Make It is a community-based organization that uses food and baking to speak openly about mental health in a way that's authentic and vulnerable, but also fun and easy to talk about. Today we're going to be making Rice Krispie treats, which is a fan favorite, and it's super easy. You don't need an oven, you only need a stove, and it's 3 ingredients that you probably already have laying around your kitchen or dorm room or house, and I can't wait to start now. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these 3 tablespoons of butter and put it in my saucepan. I am letting the butter melt on the stove, and now I'm gonna add 1 bag of marshmallows a little bit at a time. Today, while I'm making these Rice Krispie treats, I want to talk a little bit about eating disorder recovery. So I myself am in eating disorder recovery. I've struggled with an eating disorder basically my whole life. I grew up in a community and a family and environment where it was really hard not to have one. And I've done a lot of work to maintain and get to my recovered spot. I personally struggled with an eating disorder not otherwise specified, or EDNOS, and essentially that is an eating disorder that doesn't necessarily fit the criteria of the other eating disorders we think about, like anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, or binge eating disorder. It's kind of in a different category. And I think one of the biggest things that I've learned in my own recovery is that you cannot tell if someone has an eating disorder. If I could shout that from the rooftops, I absolutely would. I guess this is kind of my way of doing that. I think I was in a lot of denial when I found out this was something that I was struggling with, because I always thought that someone who had an eating disorder looked a certain way or acted a certain way, and I didn't see myself in that capacity. And so I was in a lot of denial, and it stopped me from getting help for a long time. And I know I'm not alone in that, and that makes me really sad, because I feel like there are so many people who need help and maybe don't recognize it yet. I think the hardest thing for me now, being in recovery, is living in a different body than I'm used to, and that does come with a lot of shame. I think more than I like to admit sometimes, but it's definitely a big part of it. But I also recognize that my recovery allows me to change the world and be Bake It Till You Make It's founder, and be in a relationship and be in my life. And that's incredibly important. I mean, what's more important than that? That is what we're working with, marshmallow and butter wise. So now that the marshmallows are basically all melted in with the butter, I'm going to be taking the Rice Krispie treats and adding it to the saucepan. Okay, now I am just putting the contents of the saucepan in a bowl that I already greased, and essentially it's just gonna go in the fridge to set, and then anyone and everyone can use it. Oh, ignore my dirty bowl. As I said, I think if I did this again, I would have used a bigger saucepan. And if you don't have the opportunity or ability to do this on a stove, if you're not home or you're in like a dorm or something, you can use a microwave to melt the marshmallows, and you'll have the same amazing Rice Krispie treat experience. Just a reminder that if you are struggling with your mental health, you can always dial 988. That is a suicide prevention lifeline, and you can text or call anyone there to get support. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon.